Welcome to Transformation Matters. Shift from grumpy to grateful, from heartbroken to happy, from helpless to hopeful, from jealous to joyous, and cluttered to clarity. Using 12 themes from the book Live Inspired, stories of brave self-discovery and the wisdom gleaned along the way, I will be sharing an idea, a brief story, and tips you can practice for a holistic transformation of your heart, space, and life. I'm Laura Staley, founder of Cherish Your World and author of the book Live Inspired. I passionately guide people to heal, transform, and thrive. Today I'm focused on trust and discernment, trusting yourself in the face of fear, tactics, and flattery. And I thought I'd first share, like I usually do, a brief story of an experience I had in which, boy, did I learn a lot. My learnings have been sometimes painful, but I guess necessary for my growth and development. I was at that panting stage after my marriage had ended. For those of you who have been single, maybe you can understand or relate to what that is. I just, I missed interactions with a man. And this financial advisor met me at a business networking event and sent me, and afterwards, and we had a nice exchange, and I didn't think a whole lot about it, but he definitely listened in a way that other individuals hadn't always listened to what I did and how I help people. And he sent this note, message through LinkedIn, and boy, it was just kind of like right on the line between sort of flirty and professional, and yet I clearly took the bait and said, sure, I'll meet you for coffee. And we sat down and had coffee, which he paid for, which was generous and kind. And he very quickly had lots of questions about my financial situation and things post-divorce. And it really should have been a clue when at one point I just, broke down in tears and walked away from the table and went to the bathroom to just kind of cry my eyes out and gather myself together emotionally and return to the table. He was incredibly charming, and there was a kindness, seemingly a kindness about him. And because of that yearning, hungry feeling I had for the kindness of especially a man, boy, I fell hook, line, and sinker for every one of his skillful, charming ways. I ended up agreeing to transfer money to his company. And I later learned that the monies that I had there would not have gone to my children had they passed away. Those monies would have actually just stayed with the company. And I was so mortified and realized that I had encountered another, what I call shark, somebody who just really takes advantage of another person's vulnerability. And I believe to this day that he saw that in me. He saw the gullibility. He saw the vulnerability. He knew, at one point he even said, you have to be 100% transparent with me about your financial situation, which of course I was. And yet he wasn't fully transparent with me. Wow. What a painful learning. And if I were to go back to that experience, honestly, I would tell you that had I checked in with my gut, I would have backed away really quickly from this individual and recognized that he was attempting to take advantage of me. But I've forgiven myself, and I working on it's a process. Forgiveness is a process. Forgiveness of other people is a process. Just a really painful lesson to be on full guard and aware. And really, I think it's been about trusting myself and my deeper instincts, and to know when I'm that raw and vulnerable, it's not a time to do anything about my money or dating or anything like that. Now, I didn't date the gentleman, but I certainly signed over a financial, was in this financial situation. So here are some tips that may really help you. And I know as I have practiced these, they've really helped me. I think pause anytime somebody makes a request of you. It could even be your partner, your spouse, even your children. First, check in with your body. Like, what is your body saying? What is your gut saying? Just pause. And you might even say, gosh, I need to go to the bathroom, even if you don't. Hold that thought. I need to call you back. And inside the pause, check in with yourself and what you're actually willing to do or not do. Really listen deeply. And if flares are going off inside of you, which the body knows, the body carries such wisdom and often registers all kinds of information about a situation, more so than the mind does even. And sometimes our minds can talk us out of, they'll talk us into getting on the elevator with the creepy guy, even though our body's going, don't do it, don't step on that elevator. So your body will send up flares, and I just encourage you to trust your gut. If something feels off, it is. And don't ever feel like you have to apologize that. Just say, gosh, sorry, not willing to do that. It's not in my heart, it's not in my gut, but thank you for offering, thank you for asking. Take care of you. Pause and listen to your gut. So that's the first one. The second is you have a right to ask lots of questions. If you're meeting someone for the first time and they're making requests of you, or they're using charm or flattery and seem to know so much about your life, that's often a red flag on the play. People will use fear tactics, bullying, shaming, and flattering all the time as tools of manipulation to get you to do something or even buy something. So ask questions and listen very closely to the answers that someone shares. Did the person actually answer your question, or did they dodge it and answer a different question? If you're not getting clear, honest answers, if the person isn't interested in you and your needs, concerns, it likely is not a good fit. And if you don't know something, how important to ask. Be brave enough for your safety to ask questions. I know that seems just like, well, yeah, of course you would. And then thirdly, cultivate self-confidence by tapping into the moments you actually trusted yourself, and go back to those moments where you really did make a good choice and you aligned with your willing, happy heart. And when you said yes from that willing, happy heart, and then took the actions that you needed to do, it was just like easy. And remember that resentment is the cancer that kills relationships. Wow. So if you're doing things not from a happy, willing heart, wow, it's going to go weird in a second. And you want to keep bringing yourself to that place of balance and harmony inside yourself. When the yes is from our hearts, everything else seems to align. And actually, an additional one, and many of you have probably heard this, is kind of like, don't date when you're that panting hungry, right? Or don't go to the grocery store when you're literally physically hungry, because you come back with all kinds of items that you just really don't need in your pantry. So be aware of when you're yearning or needy and take actions to fill yourself up with what your heart needs. You can take care of yourself, your body, your emotions, your basic human needs. That's what it means to be an adult, self-reliant, and look in the mirror and flirt with you if that's what you need to do. And then, like take care of your interests and your passions, and all those activities that you can do to love yourself. And if you're meant to meet a great guy, it will happen at the right time and in the right way, as well as an integrous financial advisor. All right, next time I'll be discussing the perceptions of others, truths you can learn about yourself, with a brief story and tips to support your self-discovery, transformations, and the experience and your experience of being alive. This is Transformation Matters with your host, Laura Staley, founder of Cherish Your World and author of Live Inspired. I'm passionately guiding people to thrive. Know that you are loved more than you can even imagine. You matter to our world. Till next time.